welcome to East Coast DNA. We have a new to the show guest, but anyone that's been following East Coast DNA the last couple of years is probably already aware of Brett Matthews. Thank you for joining us, Brett.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Good, good. So I was just saying we haven't actually met in person, but
No.
I've been following you the last couple of years. Your career is a very close timeline to the podcasts as well.
Oh, sweet, sweet.
So you would have been new on the scene when I was looking for new artists.
Okay.
And then you
Okay.
quickly got a name for yourself out there, specifically in our region, but not just in our region, like nationally,
hmm
with your association with Classified as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So I do want to go back. I mean, that's definitely a central point of your career at this point,
for sure. Yeah.
because that's where a lot of people are kind of hearing your name for the first time.
Yeah.
But you've been doing this for quite a while as far as like singer-songwriter styles.
Yeah. I have played guitar pretty much my whole life. You know what I mean? Since I was 12, and um, always kind of toyed with writing songs, but never not to do anything with. You know what I mean? It was just a way for me to get some creativity out, I guess. And yeah, I didn't actually start kind of record recording and releasing music until like 2019-ish kind of
Hmm.
thing. So, but it's over the years, it's always been something that I loved and tried to hang on to. So,
And you're originally from Cape Breton area?
yeah, I am. Yeah, Western Cape Breton. Yeah.
And so these days, are you Halifax based or are you still
No,
home?
no, I'm in Cape Breton. I'm
Amazing.
10 minutes from where I grew up, kind of thing. So, yeah, no, it's nice.
I don't think all of the people outside of our region really appreciate like the effort that is required there, but also the desire. That the effort doesn't feel like effort because those of
Yeah,
us that stay in our home communities, like that's where we want to be.
yeah,
So it's not always the best commute sometimes, but I definitely can relate to that too.
yeah. No.
So you're staying in your hometown essentially.
hmm
How did you get to the point that you were on Classified's radar that you kind of had that leg up anyway? Like, where did the two of you meet? Did he hear you performing somewhere?
No, no. So funny enough, like I'm growing up, like I've never been like one to put myself in, you know what I mean, and if it like try and do something with music, I guess. And then Classified actually had a Facebook post where it was before his retrospected album,
Hmm.
where he was looking for an acoustic guitar player and singer. So a friend of mine, my friend Taylor, sent it to me, and I seen it, and I was like, oh, like maybe I should, but I was kind of like, like what even chance would I have? You know what I mean? At that time, like I don't have a name for myself, all this. So I was like, well, why would he? But anyway, I sent him a couple samples and he emailed me back and he said, I like the way it sounds. And if you're ever up for it, would you come up to Enfield to, try some stuff or whatever? And I was like, oh my God, okay. So, yeah, cut to that was 2019. And yeah, 6 years later, we're still hanging out.
That's amazing. So, outside of Classified collaboration specifically, and outside of his direct influence for songwriting, now it seems obvious to me, but you would have grown up acoustic guitar and singing. So to blend with his styles, I can see where that comes from, specifically in that scenario where you're saying that he's looking for somebody.
Yep.
So you're kind of falling into his fold. But now for your own original material, which you've obviously been successful with, two ECMA nominations.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you go to write a song, are you starting with just yourself and acoustic guitar and kind of picking away and coming up with lyrics at that point?
Pretty much, it kind of changes from song to song or, place to place, but for the most part, I tend to start them on guitar, but when it comes time to record them, I might change it to piano. You know what I mean? Like it might,
Hmm.
or vice versa. I might think of something on the piano and then be like, oh, that'd be cool if I picked that. You know what I mean on guitar. But I think it just kind of depends what you're doing at the time. You know what I mean? Like stuff kind of just happens out of nowhere. Some stuff you write, you don't ever finish it. You know what I mean? It's tough
Hmm.
to really narrow it down to an exact science of it, but it often does start with just me, and then say come to the final product or start to record it. I'll go into Luke's classifieds place to record, and some songs aren't fully finished on my end. You know what I mean? He'll collaborate on it, and we'll go, what if this works? What
Hmm.
about if we did this? Oh, maybe this should be the bridge, or you know what I mean? So it uh, it definitely changes, but that's for the most part how it works.
And so I mentioned two ECMA nominations. So there's Breakthrough Artists, which obviously with a peak of success early on in your career, it makes sense that you would be in that category. The second one for Country Recording of the Year.
Hmm.
So I can see where the songs are written possibly with a country mindset, like when you're starting to build them. But
Yeah,
there's also a lot of kind of a pop aesthetic that's kind of in there.
yeah. Hmm.
So is that something that more became integrated into your music because of those early successes that you're finding a new way to communicate with the audience out there? Or is that something that you were kind of already evolving towards just because of your own influences?
I think kind of evolving towards it already because I grew up listening to country, you know, pretty much the only thing my dad ever had in his truck, you know what I mean, was country albums and collaboration albums where it's so you get to hear all these different country songs, and I always kind of gravitated towards like the slower one, like the kind of more, I don't know, minor key emotional sounding songs, and I feel like that has a big impact on some of the music that I write. But also, I love listening to pop music. You know what I mean? And it's kind of an ongoing joke with me is we don't really know what genre I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's tough to kind of and to me, I don't like the idea of being in one box. You know what I mean? I like all kinds of music and I like creating all kinds of music. So it can be tough on the front of trying to find out where your song fits and you know what I mean. But oh wait, he's got a song that fits way
Hmm.
over here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of tough that way, but uh, it's just the way that I've always kind of done it.
Yeah, I mean, I completely get it, so I can't use the word unfortunate, but
No, but you do.
it's the way that things are structured. Like I
It
used
is.
to, I mean, we could talk about the way that the ECMA is structured, or we could talk about how a record store bin is structured. Like there's always
Yeah,
compartmentalization and categorization that we do and do not agree with, and then on top of that, when you're labeled, you don't want to feel like you're put in a box.
I know. Yeah, yeah.
So you did kind of take an interesting approach to that as well, that I appreciate as a music fan and somebody that also likes multiple genres. I think Lucky Ones, you
Mhm.
have two versions. So you have the very popular one on your Spotify account, from what I
Yeah.
could see in numbers, which is your more traditional kind of, like I said, the kind of pop aesthetic to it.
Yep.
And it does have that modern country slow kind of vibe, kind of you get the love song kind of thing going on there too, right?
Yeah.
So I can see how that's super popular. And then on top of it, when I'm looking down through your list, you have an acoustic version that you also released of it, which is
Yeah.
more of where I think of you because I picture you with the acoustic guitar. Like that's where my
Totally.
mind goes.
Yep.
So there's there's something to be said for that, that it gave my mind a restful feeling that I was able to have a little flavor of each.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
also, just as a music fan, I like variations on a theme most times.
yeah.
Sometimes it's not the best, but uh, in this case, this would be one of the good ones.
Oh, okay. Thank you, man. That's awesome.
So, when you perform live, like I know
Yeah,
that a lot of your experience is tied to classified, as we just talked about as well.
yeah.
But maybe looking forward or more recently, when you go to do a live performance, would people be expecting you like with a full band accompaniment and you're up there leading the charge with the guitar? Is that the vibe we're getting from a live show?
Yeah, it's I kind of do a mix of no band, no band. It's
Yeah.
just me. But I kind of do a mix of acoustic singer-songwriter style. But I also I use an MPC, which if people don't know what that is, it's a Kai drum machine.
Hmm.
And I run backing tracks, so I have WAV files of my backing tracks triggered on my MPC. So some songs I might add a little bit of, you know what I mean, just a little bit more element to the song
Yeah.
while I play with it type thing. But yeah, so it's kind of a mix of both. It and you know I do find it sometimes kind of I'm like it's just me up here, but there's all these sounds like there's drums going, but it's just this big dude on a stool. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to uh, imagine what it looks like from the outside, but
Hmm.
the shows have been great and it's been yeah it's been fun for sure.
As far as that type of setup, like your configuration on stage, like it's interesting because as soon as you started getting into the explanation, I immediately associate that with East Coast rappers
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's pretty much, I mean, that's pretty much that industry is that's how they do it.
yeah.
But I think that you probably have already advanced your own setup beyond what a lot of our local rappers are doing too. So it's interesting that they could probably learn that from you when you're not 100% really associated with that. As
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
as a genre, you wouldn't be as a soloist put in there. It would be
yeah,
more so because you were working with somebody. But at the same time, the way that you're approaching your own music is very similar to the way they would be. So
totally.
definitely huge potential for collaboration in the future, which
Every
I
time.
find very interesting because historically, being around a little longer than some of the rest of you out there, the idea of fusing country and rap did not
Yeah.
seem possible at all.
No, yeah.
But it's almost like a given now. Like if you turn on the radio, that's what's on the radio now.
I
Like
know. You're
it,
right.
it's everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's an amazing time for that type of music that there is such of a widespread public appeal for it. So
Yeah.
good timing for you to be out there on the scene. And like I said, that breakthrough artist nomination is a testament to what you've been out there doing as well, because
Thank you.
that's primarily for your solo work, not the early recognition that I'm talking about. So
Yeah, yeah. No, it's awesome.
yeah, an amazing feat. But you do have a few singles that are out there now.
Mhm.
And with this recognition moving forward, I'm sure you've been afforded opportunities that you're already aware of, some that you probably can't share with us yet. But ECMAs will be heading over there. Are you heading over yourself as well?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be there all week. Yeah.
So we'll be there, probably run into each other
Yeah,
on
definitely.
site. And I imagine most of the musicians that I'm talking to probably have a showcase at some point. So I'll be
Yeah.
able to catch people live.
Yeah, yeah.
What's in store for Brett afterwards? Like once we get back to Nova Scotia, do you have any plans to hit the road touring, hit it studio? What's next?
Yeah, I'm still kind of, shows are still kind of popping up. I got a show coming. What's the next one after ECMAs? For my own, probably July 10th.
Okay.
Right now, I'm playing at the Carlton, where I just played recently. I'm playing with some buds of mine from Toronto called Yasin and Shontario.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're coming to town, so we're gonna do a show at the Carlton in July. But yeah, I'm just I'm looking forward to just getting new opportunities and just doing as many shows as I can. I got quite a few shows with Classified, that are
Hmm.
already scheduled and whatnot. But as for solo, I'm looking and yeah, shows are on the way.
So with all of that, it is a pretty busy schedule. So does
Yeah.
that afford you any time to work on songwriting so that you can develop some new material?
It does. I mean, there's not a ton of time. My wife and I just had our second child 4 weeks ago, so we're in the thick of that right now as well. So it's there's still some downtime in between shows, but there's
Hmm.
also family and you know what I mean. It's kind of a balancing act where you want to spend as much time as you can at home, but you don't want to you know take work home is too much, right? But
Certainly. Yeah, I have a couple that are all grown up now, but I
oh
couldn't
yeah, well.
imagine doing all of this and having a baby sitting over there in the next room with me.
Yeah, no, it's great though. You know what I mean? It's all a part of it.
Yeah, I will give a quick shout out though. I used it. I was teasing you when I was talking to Jaden
Oh yeah.
because of the baby, which congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
But that does make it difficult to schedule time. But I had interviewed, if people go back and look, it's technically tied in with ECMA, it just wasn't at the time.
Yeah.
A local band, 11th and Duke, they're up
Oh
for
yeah.
their blues recording.
Okay.
So they also just had a baby recently, and it was really close to when I did the interview, and I had the same time scheduling, trying to find
Trying to figure it
suitable
out.
time. The baby ended up in the interview for the entire time.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not saying that that's common. That's like
Yeah.
kudos to the however they did that. I don't know. Well,
That's funny.
when we're all in Newfoundland, I'll have to introduce you to Nathan and Meg, so
Yeah,
you
please. Yeah.
can pick their brain on some parenting skills.
Yes,
How'd you get a
absolutely.
baby to sleep through an interview?
Yeah, that's right. No, that's perfect. I'll love to meet them.
So I'm wondering now, because we talked about the fact that you do kind of float around between genres from trying to label.
Hmm.
It's not really song specific either. Like any one song could fall into multiple categories. So if you were to introduce yourself to somebody brand new, what song would you play off the episode with to give people a taste of Brett Matthews?
Uh, I think probably If I Die Today.
Yeah.
But that's my most singer-songwriter kind of song, I think, with the some hip hop elements in there as well. But
Hmm.
uh, I just think that's you know kind of sums up the just kind of a mix of everything that I like to make. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Hmm.
got a bit of everything in there. But yeah, I'd probably definitely show him that one.
And that is the one that got you the nomination for the
It is.
recording there as well.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes on that song, who worked on that with you? Like aside from yourself doing songwriting, who all was involved in the studio version of it, I guess is what I'm
In
asking.
the studio version, so I wrote the song. Um, Actually, you know what's funny? I wrote this song while I was at work, doing construction,
Okay.
and I was screening topsoil at the time while I was thinking of these lyrics. But anyway, I kind of thought of the song, and most of it came to me like that day. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of
Hmm.
a finish of a day, and then I took it to Luke, and he we started working on it, and we got the chorus and everything sounding the way it sounds. And then a few days later, we had Owen O Sound Lee came in and did some keys, piano on it for us. Um, and then a few days later, Luke, but after sitting with it for a few days and tinkering with it, and he called me and he asked if he could put a verse on the song, and I was like, "Oh my god, like absolutely, please." So yeah, he did his part, and yeah, between me and him and Owen and the keys, that's all that was a part of
It's an amazing collaboration. So are you just like constantly networking in order to have these opportunities?
Not really, like kind of. You know what I mean? Owen, I know Owen plays keys with Classified, right? So
Yeah.
we've been touring together since 2019, kind of thing. So we've become quite close and um, Classified with the RMA link with Lucky Ones. I don't know if you know that she's the female vocalist
Yeah.
on the song.
Yeah. Yeah.
I met her through Classified, obviously. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I do get a pretty good list of collaborators from hanging out with Luke.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that's obviously a testament to your talent as well, or they wouldn't all want to work with you. They know how to be nice. They wouldn't be where they were if they didn't have that skill set. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's amazing. I'm excited to see what you have next.
Okay.
Definitely hope that you afford yourself enough time to spend some time with the family. The
Yeah,
babies
of
are
course.
they're only babies for a short amount of
I
time.
know it's too fast.
Yeah. So I definitely want to see if we can touch base while we're all in Newfoundland
Yeah,
together. And
absolutely.
sounds like there's a couple points where our circles overlap there too. So
Yeah.
might be a good opportunity for both of us to do some networking while we're on the
Yes.
rock.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I got a few shows to do over there as well. So if you're around, man, come out and
Yeah,
come
amazing.
hang. Yeah,
Definitely.
we'll chat about it for sure.
All right. So for today, I think we'll play off with that song. And for anyone that wants to keep up to date with what's happening in your solo camp,
Mhm.
where should we send them to follow you online?
My main platform I use is Instagram. If they want to follow Brett Matthews Music, you'll see my thumbnail is a picture of myself. TikTok, Facebook, all the same name. YouTube, that's where I put all my music videos and stuff. So
Perfect. And
yeah,
kudos to you there too. We didn't really get too much specifically into music videos, but I do know that not everyone makes those these days, and
yeah, yeah,
you've been keeping up with it. So
yeah. It's fun. It's fun for me.
most people are probably watching this on YouTube. Is it's either YouTube or TikTok at this point. So
Yeah,
definitely give them a follow out there, and maybe take an
thank
extra
you.
couple minutes to sit and watch one of those videos.
Sweet.
And I'll be out there watching as well in the future. So definitely excited to see what else is coming. And if anybody wants to hear more, they can find you on Spotify and all the major
Yeah,
streaming platforms.
great,
Thanks again, and we'll
great.
see you
Thank you.
soon.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Cheers.
If I die today, let my family know that I was happy. Just make sure they know I'll miss them badly. My last trip around the sun has ended sadly. And if I die today, please remind my girl about the good times, the wake-ups in the mornings and the good nights. What I wouldn't give to share just one more smile, one more smile. When if I die today, never take the ones you love for granted. Remember every story like your dad did. And everything you've lost, at least you had it. And if I die today,
Yeah, if I die today, tell my kids I love them. Tell them I'm proud of them and the woman that they're becoming. Tell them they made their father happy and showed me life's purpose. When I thought I knew it all, they showed me I never scratched the surface. Tell my wife I miss her and I'm still right there with her. Remind her about the good times we had when we were together. Kept me warm throughout the coldest winters. I was the one you shared your secrets with. Baby, I still hear your whispers. Tell my parents thank you for rubbing my ankles through the late nights. When I was having growing pains, you always showed me strength. And tell my friends good times, the memories live forever. When I'm gone, I'll be okay. I'll just miss the moments together with you.
Ooh.